Tonight from Tiger Yard, it's a key District 7 6A matchup as the Irving Tigers play host to the Cardinals of Mac. Hello again, everybody. John Nelson along with Rob Willman on this breezy spring evening. The Tigers and the Cards playing the first of two games. Both teams coming off of wins in district play. And you can see how tightly bunched it is for third place. Mac, Grand Prairie, and Irving all locked in with 4-4 district records. South Grand Prairie leading the pack, unbeaten as of this game, with an 8-0 mark. Cardinals coming off an 8-2 win over Grand Prairie, and the Irving Tigers last week coming off a 13-3 win over the Eagles of DeSoto. Senior Ryan Bartlett gets the starting assignment tonight for the Irving Tigers. Record of 1-0. Making his second start of the year. These are district numbers, an ERA of 1.68. Mac overall 11-11-1, and Irving 6-12-1. Griffin, Marufo, and Torres the top third of the order. Hornborn and Garcia the middle, and then Blast, Salas, and Hudson. Your starting lineup tonight for the Irving MacArthur Cardinals. And we're set to go, and here's Rob Willman with tonight's first pitch from Tiger Yard.
All right, John, thank you very much. Alan Griffin will lead things off for the Cardinals. He will also be the starting pitcher tonight for MacArthur. He is pretty much the leader in almost every category for this team, leading in batting, hits, and RBIs, and also their top ace pitching. And hits that one hard down the line, but that will be foul off the fence, and Mr. Bartlett is even on the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Last time we had a game here on ICTN, it was Irving. They lost 5-4 to Nimitz, but they came back to defeat the Vikings 2-1 the second time through. 1-1 offering, bounced towards second base. Hernandez cannot reach it, and Griffin reaches with the single.
Leads the team in hits, now collects his 24th hit of the year.
That'll bring up the third baseman, Andres Marufo. The third baseman, and let's see if they try to sacrifice him down or not. Marufo batting .327 with about 5 RBIs. His team has 4 players in double figures when it comes to RBIs. He faked the bunt. The tailor-made double play. The shortstop, Seth Inocencio, over to his brother, and just like that, the Cardinals are erased in a double play. A pitcher's best friend there, Mr. Nelson.
Yeah, ball took a funny bounce off the side of the mound, but not bad enough for Inocencio to break his stride, and in one motion steps on second and completes the 6-3 double play.
Here's another grounder to Seth, long throw, and just like that, the inning is over as Junior Torres grounds out very quickly, and the top of the first is over in the blink of an eye. Just like that, 3 up, 3 down. And that'll bring up Irving and Matt Sarter's bunch, struggling a little bit this year, but they're still in the thick of things, as John talked about at the beginning of this cable cast, how so many teams are bunched up between second, third, and fourth. I mean, there are teams that are in 5th place now that, you know, in the next couple of weeks they could end up in the playoffs. As you take a look at Coach Matt Sarter, his first year as a head coach, was an assistant at Irving the last 3 years, played under his dad Mike, and coached with his brother Ben the last 3 years, and went to UTA, was a catcher here in high school, and then went to college, and they said, man, you've got a gun for an arm, why don't you throw for us? And this is the starting lineup.
Jason Hernandez leads it off. He'll be followed by Benitez, Inocencio, and Banda. Banda hitting cleanup. Damian Inocencio, Watkins, Amos Bartlett, and Ramos. The batting order for the Irving Tigers. They come in hitting collectively at .248, averaging 5 runs a game. Garcia, Boren, Salas, and Marufo, the infield from right to left. Horn, Kincher, and Hudson, the outfield alignment. Junior Torres behind the plates, and on the hill, Alan Griffin with a pitching record of 2-4.
Kind of deceiving. I mean, he's lost some heartbreakers, but has a golden 2.35 ERA, has struck out 29 and walked 17, has pitched just over 38 innings, and they will rely on Allen here to push them through. Talking to Coach Canan before the ball game, told me that he thought his players are starting to play a little bit better as the season goes on. He said that's all that counts anyway. He said we got off to a really rocky start. He's had a couple of players who have been injured that have hurt their wrists. One broke a wrist just diving for a ball early in the season, just now trying to work back into the lineup as Griffin throws one on the inside corner for a called strike. Jason Hernandez was 1 out of 4 with a double last time we had him on ICTN, which was a few weeks ago. That game they lost 5-4. Taps that one back. Had some rain the night before. Some areas with more rain than others, and I know that Irving got a good little shower for about 15 minutes or so the day before this game. But the field's in pretty good shape, and here's a slow roller to Griffin. Takes his time. Garcia makes the catch, and there's one down.
Ground ball outs to begin this game tonight. The Tigers, Irving started out the year losing their first 6 games, had a tough start, losing 6 straight, but they've won 3 of their last 5. And Robbie talked about if there is a time to be playing well, this is the time, right in the middle of district.
So one down, and R.J. Benitez, the third baseman. Got one single the last time we watched him on TV. Waits for the curveball, goes right over the glove of the shortstop, Salas, and gets the base hit. So some patient hitting, waited on the curveball, and hit it right in the gap over the shortstop's head for the first base hit of the ball game for the Tigers. Irving will have the Gophers and Cedar Hill left on their schedule. It's hard to believe in a couple of weeks the district baseball season will be over. Mac has Duncanville and Nimitz. I would say Mac has the, I don't know if it's somewhat easier schedule. Duncanville has not been playing that well this year. Hits one right to short. Salas picks that one up off the top of his shoe and turns the double play real easy. That was nonchalant, wasn't it?
Carbon copy of the inning-ending double play about 5 minutes ago. Shortstops are busy here in the first inning.
Well, it was just a soft liner to Salas, who had to go just a few inches over the shoe and just grabbed it over the dirt. Benitez was caught way off the bag, and even though the throw didn't make its mark to Garcia, he had plenty of time for the put out, and just like that, Mr. Nelson, we're 1 inning into the books.
Probably a combined total of 10 pitches for both pitchers here at the end of the first inning. I don't think that Allen threw more than 6 in the top of the first. All right, let's check the defense for the Irving Tigers tonight from third to first. Benitez, Inocencio, Jason Hernandez, and Damian Inocencio. The outfield alignment from left to right. Banda, Watkins, and Alvarez. Jesse Ramos behind the Pentagon, and Ryan Bartlett on the hill.
Well, the way MacArthur has been hitting the ball of late, you would think that here sooner or later they're going to break free and put some runs on the board, but they ran themselves out of an inning in the first as Levi Horn steps into the box in the top of the second. The ball just missing on the outside corner for a ball. Not a lot of wind. What breeze that is blowing is going swirling around a little bit from center to left, and every now and then it kicks in straight in, but I don't think that will affect what happens off the bat as you take a look at Ryan Canan, 4th season. Very optimistic before the ball game after he's in the dirt. You know, the Warriors have a pretty good record over everyone else in the district. He doesn't believe that they're that dominant. He said not really a dominant team in this district like last year, a couple of years when Jesuit really took the district by storm, went all the way to state last year. Had a couple of very dominating pitchers on that staff. 3 balls and a strike to Horn. There's ball 4.
Cardinals, a young team, only 5 seniors, 11 juniors, 3 sophomores, and a freshman this year. And they come in collectively hitting .281.
Ricky Borden, he doesn't get a lot of at-bats. He's played about 7 games, working his way back into the lineup after breaking that wrist. This is one of the players that have been injured that Canaan says he's glad to have back, and hopefully he can hit a zone, hit a streak here right when postseason plays. That is fouled back. These coaches realize that there's a good possibility, John, when the regular season is over, there might be one of those one-and-done playoff games within the district just to see who makes postseason.
The way it shapes up now, that's a real possibility.
Horn was on the move with a hit and run. It pops up to first. Will he catch it and get back in time? He makes the play at first. Damian Inocencio with the putout, so there's one down. Horn hustles back to first.
Got to kind of tap dance around the coach at first base. Kind of had to maneuver around him to make the play.
Had to do a little dance move. Should be no surprise that Horn was off on the pitch. Cardinals have stolen 40 bases this season. Horn with 8 of those. Griffin 7 and Daniel Hernandez with 6. So keep an eye, and there he is running again. This time they'll let him go down to second. They got him. Ramos with a strike over to Hernandez covering, and what a nice put out. Nice arm by Ramos. And once again, they're running themselves out of an inning.
Threw it on a line, waiting for it is Jason Hernandez. 2-4, caught stealing, and quickly now 2 outs.
I still don't think the Cardinals will quit running, though. That's just in their DNA. That is outside for a ball. Felipe Garcia, the big first baseman. Cardinals in their traveling uniforms.
You like the burr on the bat above the numbers on the back of the jersey?
I like that. Hit well down the right field line, but that is slicing foul and just a long strike, and Felipe will have to hustle back to the batter's box.
Well, like the Tigers, the Cardinals have been red hot the last 2 weeks. They come in having won 4 of their last 6.
Garcia does strike out a lot, not as much as Hudson, the number 9 hitter, but second on the team in strikeouts. Nice pitch on the inside corner, just misses. Home plate umpire motions with the hand that it was a little wide and inside. And the count is even at 2-2. Perfect baseball weather, nice and cool outside. Some cloud cover, you can see the baseball rather well. Hernandez will let it hop to him. And Garcia goes down 4-3. So it's a 1-2-3 inning, second inning. That's some defensive gems by the home team. Put down the visitors in order as we go to the bottom of the second. Banda, Damian Inocencio, and Grant Watkins, your batters here for Irving High School.
Cards have had it pretty much their way in the series in the last 4 years. They've won the last 8. They won both games last year. 7-5 and a 3-0 shutout. Well, the Cardinals did win that 5-3, so that snapped the streak. The second game of last year in the district. But you can see how the Cardinals have strung together quite a few wins since 2011.
Like a lot of sports around here, you see those streaks. Girls softball, it was the Lady Vikings that just seemed to beat everybody for years. And then the last couple of seasons, they've been trying to find their stride, and that's enabled the Lady Tigers and the Lady Cardinals both to pick up some wins that they haven't usually accomplished against the Vikings. So it comes
like,
in streaks.
It's like the pecans and the orange groves. It comes every other year. You have a good bunch.
You have a good crop.
Yeah.
All right, this is Christian Banda. Swings at the first pitch. Fufo over to first, and there's one down. A lot of first pitch swinging by both teams tonight. Not that I'm complaining.
Well, you set the tone early. You held a team meeting at about 6 o'clock.
I did. And they showed up about 6:15. That is high and away. Inocencio 1 out of 2 against the Vikings last time around. He's the threat. He's the guy that makes things happen. He's their top run producer. Driven in 9 RBIs, hitting .333 and scoring 5 runs himself. Good job in the number 5 spot. Fastball outside corner called strike. Coach Sarter rearranged the lineup just a little bit, tweaked it a little bit from the last time we saw him, and Bartlett was a little bit higher up. They've got him in the 8th spot. Hit hard past the third baseman down the line. Inocencio digging for 2 and will go in standing up.
Just a bullet by Marufo at third base as Hudson had to run it down. And a 1-out double for Damian Inocencio. I believe that's his first in district. Not all of it. And no chance for Marufo.
Yeah, not much he could do at all. He'd have to have Spider-Man type reflexes. So for the first time, there is a runner at second base tonight with 1 down. And Grant Watkins stepping in. Struggling somewhat. This is a moment for him to try to make things happen. Come up with a clutch hit for the Irving Tigers. First pitch on the way, right on the outside corner for a called strike. So far, Griffin has been successful on right-handing pitchers by going on the outside part of the plate. If he lets that one hang up a little bit or come inside, they've been able to hit him pretty well. Another fastball tapped to second. Boren goes to his left, makes the play that he had to. 2 down. Damian goes down to third. And the designated hitter, Cameron Amos, the DH.
But Watkins hit it to the right side and able to advance the runner, Inocencio over to third. Nice job.
So Amos looking for his 6th RBI. No one in district for Irving in double digits in RBIs yet. Damian, the only one that's close with 9. Watkins had a couple. The curveball just misses. And the count is 2-0. It's the bottom part of the order. Again, you got Bartlett on deck with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Tigers playing host to the rivals. MacArthur fastball high and away. And that's 3 in a row by Griffin.
Amos is the DH tonight for Pedro Alvarez. Alvarez is in right field.
And that's high and tight. 4 straight pitches to Amos. So it's his first walk of the night, surrendered by Griffin. So there's runners at the corners. So a force at first and second. Make an easy put out at second if hit in the infield. You see Bartlett's numbers right now. He too is trying to work his way out of a slump. Good opportunity here against Griffin. Fastball high. Griffin just seems like John all of a sudden a little wild here.
Well, Allen hoping the 2-out walk to Amos doesn't come around to do any damage, as Junior Torres pays a house call to Alan Griffin. Griffin, a senior, and again his season numbers 2 and 4, and an ERA of under 3, 2.35.
Good numbers to have.
Yeah, after 23 games.
That misses the outside corner. Tried to get him to go after a curveball. If you're Coach Sarter, maybe you say, hey, let's make him earn the strikes and not swing at anything until he gets one over the plate. 2-0 offering. That one looks good, but low, and it's 3-0.
Over the plate, but a little low just beneath the knees of Bartlett.
Ramos, the catcher, on deck, might go up with bases loaded. And that's a called strike. Just came right down with the fastball. And you can pretty much say Bartlett had no intentions whatsoever at swinging.
Yeah, maybe taking this one as well.
Could be. Again, Damian Inocencio at third, timeout called before the pitch.
Cardinals with a staff ERA of under 4. They come in with a team earned run average of 3.67.
That's ball 4. Wasn't even close. So the bases are loaded for the number 9 hitter, Jesse Ramos. Infield does not have to play in with 2 outs. Although I notice Salicet short, well, he was in a little bit. Now he's getting back pretty much straight away. But with the bases loaded like that, any little miscue is going to score a run. And tight. Keep looking at that MacArthur bench to see if Canan was going to maybe call time, come out. There's nobody warming up. Fastball, that's a strike, and they're even at 1 apiece.
Yeah, Griffin with a fastball came across, and nice pitch.
It'll be Jason Hernandez, the top of the order, if Ramos can keep this inning alive. Another fastball called strike. Right about letter high. You know, there's always that certain moment in the game that the coach says throw strikes.
Well,
don't try to be too cute about it.
This would be it right here.
Yeah, the 1-2 offering. Swung on a miss, then he gets out of the inning. Made it interesting, but they strand the bases loaded. We've been through 2, no score. Be right back. Oh, a beautiful night to watch a ball game, even if you're maybe positioned not the correct way. Think they can see the game from that area? I don't know. They look awful comfy, though. That's the way to watch a baseball game. Right now, we've got a dandy. No score after a couple, and with the 3rd and 4th inning is Mr. Nelson.
All right, Rob, this rivalry here, and to lead things off for the Cards, it'll be Landon Blass, a designated hitter. And the first pitch is a breaking pitch by Bartlett. In for a strike. Wind kind of swirls in and around at the moment, blowing straight in from center field. Blass, Allison Hudson's numbers 7, 8, and 9 here in the top of 3rd to face Ryan Bartlett, again on the year with a record of 1-0. Making his 2nd start. Has now worked in even 10 innings on the year. This one chopped foul, 3rd base side.
You know, John, you look at consistency, and the thing about baseball is just repetition. You know, they play so many games. You try to get so many at-bats. Well, for MacArthur, they've only got 5 guys on the roster that have played in every game.
That one just misses outside.
And Blast, one of those that has played just in 9 coming into this one.
He's the designated hitter tonight. And a high fastball swung on and missed, and Blast is down on strikes. And for Bartlett, his first strikeout of the night. Challenged him up and in, and Blast couldn't catch up with it. Here's the number 8 batter, the shortstop, Edgar Salas. Comes in batting .275, 6 RBIs. Has collected 5 doubles and lifts one very, very high into straightaway center field. Watkins settling underneath it, and one-hands it for out number 2.
We were talking during the break how the wind every now and then will shift and just blow straight in from center field. As you see, look at the flag there. We started out at about 68, 69 degrees at game time. After that pitch was, our bat was finally caught, you know, Benitez almost could have caught that, but Hernandez, the second baseman, came so far in.
Number 9 hitter Marcus Hudson up there for the first time tonight, batting .283. 2 outs, no score. We're playing the top of the 3rd. At the Tiger yard, it's 325 down the lines, 375 to the deepest part of left and right center. Now a little low and away. And a 3-0 count on the number 9 hitter with 2 outs. Taking, and will draw a walk. And the second by Bartlett tonight. And the Cards have a base runner with 2 outs. And now the top of the order, the opposing pitcher, Alan Griffin. Cardinals again coming off an 8-2 win over the Gophers of Grand Prairie. That was the second game of their 2-game series last week. A throw, but Hudson back in time, being held on by Damian Inocencio.
You know, giving up a walk to the number 9 hitter, that'll make a coach grind his teeth.
Line by Benitez into left field, and a 2-out single for Alan Griffin. His second hit, he's 2 for 2 tonight. And a man in scoring position for the third baseman, Andres Marufo.
You know, Griffin, he's just one of those guys, when you watch him swing at the bat, you know, just looks so good at it. It doesn't surprise me. He's 0 for 2 and leads the team in hitting.
Well, that's his 25th hit of the year. And here's Andres Marufo, the third baseman. And the first pitch strike by Bartlett. Marufo grounded into a double play his first time up. Came in hitting .327.
Be interesting to see how Bartlett handles this. First time he's had a couple of guys on.
A look to second, the pitch home, and that one outside for a ball. The Cards have been in the playoffs the last 2 years. The District 7 6A matchup tonight. Bartlett with a counterclockwise turn, but no throw to make a play on Hudson. And the 1-1 pitch in the dirt. Ramos able to trap it. And the count now at 2-1.
Bartlett sporting the stirrup socks. Love that look. His teammates, Inocencio and Benitez, also with the stirrups there on the left side of the infield.
To the first base side, knocked down by Damon Inocencio. He will shovel to Bartlett covering, and there is out number 3. A nice pickup by Damian, and then Bartlett got there in time, and the 3-1 put out. And for the Cards in the top of the 3rd, no runs on a hit, no miscues, and 2 runners left.
Take a look at that play defensively by Damian Inocencio. What a nice play going to his right. Not only keeping that from going into right field, but also being able to toss it over to his pitcher Bartlett to end the inning. So a nice play defensively by the Tigers.
Bartlett just as much of that play is Inocencio. First thing he did was sprint all out to first base as the ball was hit wide, and they do get the third out.
You know, this is the first year that the UIL has said there's a pitch count on the pitchers, no more than 100 pitches a week, and I asked both coaches how that has gone, and they said, look, you know, we always keep an eye on our kids. You know, they're too young to throw more than that anyway. But in Nimitz, their scoreboard, they have a pitch count indicator. We noticed that a few weeks ago. Reason being, they were the first school out of the 3 in Irving to get a brand new scoreboard, and so that scoreboard came with the pitch count. Interesting enough, the UIL has only received 4 calls from a district committee member placing a complaint about some pitcher going over that count so far this year. So that's not bad considering all the games out there.
Other rules have taken many years to become established, and that's a pretty good start if that's all the complaints they've had. Jason Hernandez leads it off and chops one foul and is down on the count 0-2. To Alan Griffin, Jason Hernandez, R.J. Benitez, and Seth Inocencio here in the bottom half of the third. Jason grounded out to Griffin his first time up, and a check swing foul off the bat handle. Jason came in hitting .348, highest average on the team, as Griffin gets the target, and the next pitch is upstairs. Alan Griffin making his 8th start as of tonight. Has walked 1, struck out 1. This one poked to left field, and a one-hopper in front of Marcus Hudson. They will throw, and a little closer than I thought. And Hudson with a nice throw to
from left
Garcia.
Field. Is it one of those things you're like, what's he doing? Oh, it's kind of close.
Oh, he had Hernandez's eyeballs were as big as dinner plates. There's a one-hopper, and then Hudson with a nice dart to Garcia.
Right on the money.
A step. R.J. Benitez, the third baseman, shows bunt and takes a strike from Griffin.
Have you ever seen someone throw somebody out from left field?
I have from right field.
Right, yeah. I had numerous times from right, never from left.
R.J. singled as he swings through that off-speed pitch, way in front of it. Benitez erased on that 6-3 inning-ending double play back in the first.
Almost appeared that Benitez was trying to fake a bunt and then swing, and he got all off on his timing.
The 0-2 pitch, they work it outside, and it misses outside. And the count at 1-2. Alan Griffin works from the first base side of the rubber, almost at the very edge. He's coming home, and the pitch is chopped foul wide of third. And the count holds at 1-2.
Since Griffin loves to throw the breaking pitch, it wouldn't surprise me to see a lot of ground balls tonight.
Well, we've had 4 ground ball outs so far. Infield and double play depth. Here's a 1-2 pitch swung on, and this one lifted very high into right field. Levi Horn on the run, right on top of the line, and makes the catch in right field for out number 1.
Horn with a good jump on it. And then Hernandez, who's at first base, he's kind of in no man's land trying to make sure, well, okay, if he gets to it, I got to stay close to the bag. If not, then I've got a long way to go to second.
And here's a righty-lefty matchup. Seth Inocencio, the shortstop. Grounded into that double play his first time up. Griffin throws and gets a first pitch strike to Seth, who came in batting .273. Couple of seniors tonight on the mound. The 0-1 pitch is swung on, and a two-hopper to Boren at second. He will go to short. That's Salas waiting for it. And the force on Hernandez, and a fielder's choice for Seth Inocencio, and now 2 outs.
I think Bourne had a little trouble getting that out of the mitt. Might have cost him a step or two, and did get to sure out at second base, but Salas was unable to turn it from second to first to get the twin killing.
Christian Banda, the left fielder. He swings on the first pitch and hits one into center field. Plenty of room for Kinzer, who came in, and now the ball goes over his head. Kinzer throws it back to the shortstop, and here's a play at the plate and an easy third out as Torres able to tag Seth Inocencio and was out by 20 feet.
Well, they hit the relay man, first of all. They hit Salas at short. So even though Kinzer misplayed it, I mean, he came in way too early on that hit, and he had to bring it back. And watch it here. A pretty good swing by Banda, but watch it. Kinzer went over his head, picks it up, though, gets a nice hop on the first play. There's a shortstop with the cutoff man, and they had him a long way before he gets to the plate to end the inning.
Well, I thought he had plenty of room and would make a easy catch. But as it is, a play at the plate, Banda will be credited with a single. So they collect 2 hits in the inning. No runs on a couple of hits. They leave 1. The Tigers have now stranded 4 in the first 3 innings. And we go to the top of the 4th. No score here at Tiger Yard.
I love the reaction of Inocencio's face after he got tagged, like, I don't know if you should have sent me or not, Coach. Surprise, surprise. We talked about this district and how really they don't believe they're, even though South is in pretty good control right now, they really don't think I'm talking about the coaches, if there's really one dominant team. In fact, reading some articles today about the fact that a lot of people don't think there's really one dominating team in the Metroplex this year. Right now, South Lake Carroll seems to be on a pretty good roll and has a pretty good dominating team. Forney, with 2 pitchers who are both saying they're going to go to Texas A&M. They've already been given the opportunity and scholarship. So you got 2 1-2 pitchers. They're both juniors that'll come back next year. So Forney may be a team to look at in 5A.
And Heritage has a pretty good pitching staff this year. Junior Torres, the catcher, leads it off for the Cardinals here on the top of the 4th. Torres, Horn, and Boren. Bartlett throws, and this one popped up infield. Right side, first baseman waiting, comes in on the grass, and Damian Inocencio with a 2-handed catch for out number 1. Hit a mile high, and Inocencio stayed with it. And the first out here in the 4th.
You know, when you're the first baseman and the visitors are on the first baseline, there may be some words of wisdom tossed out during that high fly catch opportunity.
Trying to break the concentration. This one fouled straight back. Levi Horn, the right fielder, walked and was thrown out trying to steal second back in the second inning. So his average stays at 306. Very high on the team in runs scored. He has scored 16 runs this year. Ricky Boren to follow here in the 4th. Senior Ryan Bartlett throws, and a comebacker and another ground ball out. And a short toss to first. In plenty of time with Ricky Boren here to come up. Quickly 2 outs in the 4th. We got more baseball on ICTN in a couple of weeks. We'll see the Cardinals again as they take on the Vikings of Nimitz. Ricky Boren, the second baseman, takes strike 1. Boren fouled out to Damian Inocencio at first base. His first time ball. That one high and away. And the count level at 1. up and in. It turned Boren away from the plate. They appealed at first, and he did hold up. So the count now registers at 2-1. Again, Bartlett in district this year with a 1-0 record. Same spot, leaning away from it.
Be nice to have the speed gun out there tonight. Bartlett really seems to have the hot sauce on the fastball.
He's got some hops tonight, no question. Wasting no time, throws hard, and a strike taken by Boren, and the count goes to full. With 2 outs, here's a payoff pitch, and lined into right center field by Hernandez, and picked up by Alvarez, and a 2-out single by Ricky Boren. That is the 3rd hit tonight for the Cards.
All singles, no extra bases. Bartlett with a solid, so far, 3 2/3 innings. Walking just a couple, striking out just 1, but getting some plays behind him defensively that so far have kept the Cardinals off the scoreboard.
Here's MacArthur's first baseman, Felipe Garcia. He swings on the first pitch and grounds one to Seth Inocencio, who bobbles it, recovers, and throws, and Damian there to reach up and snare it with his foot on the bag for out number 3. So the Cards collect a hit, but not able to do anything with it as Felipe Garcia grounds out. He's 0 for 2 tonight. It's the middle of the 4th. Still scoreless here at Tiger Yard, the Cards and the Irving Tigers.
So I'm not going to really say that Garcia is slow or anything, but that did enable Inocencio at shortstop, even though he did kind of have to juggle it a little bit. He was able to get the runner out at first base. Maybe if that was Horn, who had pretty good foot speed down there, I don't think he would have got him. So watch it one more time. Hit on the ground. And he just pulled the glove up too soon. And to really throw a strike and got him by a step. His brother bailed him out a little bit there at first with a nice stretch.
Both teams in search of runs here. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Damian Inocencio, the first baseman, to lead it off. Grant Watkins to follow, then Cameron Amos. Damian has 1 of the 4 hits tonight as Griffin throws and misses on the first pitch. Again, the Irving Tigers coming off a big 13-3 win over DeSoto. High leg kick, and the pitch is swung on in the air to right field, playable for Levi Horn. And there is out number 1.
Notice how the right side of the infield tonight has been busy. We've had a couple of plays by Inocencio at first base to make some putouts. The right fielder Horn has made a few plays in right field tonight. Second basemen have been busy.
It has been, and the way things shape up with the wind as it is, we may see more of that. He's trying to make anything happen tonight. You always did lean to the right. Grant Watkins, the batter.
I just lean to the heavy side.
Comes over the top and misses down low, and the count even at 1. Grant grounded out 4-3. Back in the 2nd. Senior Alan Griffin throws, and that one low in the dirt. And the count goes to 2-1. Wind up and the pitch. Another fly ball, right side, foul territory, and running out of room as Felipe Garcia. As this one disappears over our camera standard first base side. Over the scaffolding.
Yeah, a good 10 feet or so out of play.
Inside, and it got him. It just nipped Grant Watkins. And he reaches first. And it'll bring up Cameron Amos, the designated hitter.
Is that one of those that hit the clothes, hit the uniform? The uniform stayed out a little bit longer than the rest of the body?
Well, it didn't come straight down. It just got a piece of the cloth. As Watkins will take his lead off first with 1 out. Alan Griffin throws. And a first pitch strike to the DH Cameron Amos, who walked his last time up.
Oh, yeah. Just caught the uniform.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Irving hasn't had base runners. I mean, this is like their 8th base runner so far.
Griffin from the stretch and turns, throws to first, and the tag a little bit late by Garcia on the backside of Watkins.
Good little move by Griffin.
But quick twist and a quick throw all in one motion. Allen set. Here's a pitch. A check swing, a throw to first, and that tag by Garcia. Again, just a shade late as Torres really got it down there in a hurry.
Well, Watkins has either made them mad or they feel like he's just wandering too far off first base.
Cameron with a very pronounced open stance. Here's the pitch, breaking pitch up high, throw to second, and it gets away from the second baseman, trickles out into center field, but Watkins has a stolen base. And the count now 1-2, another look at it.
Let's see if they would have had him. I thought they would have had him if he would have been able to glove the ball, and he could have. I think they would have had him.
Pitch was a called strike, and the count is 1-2.
He just moved the glove too fast in anticipation.
Swung on and fouled off the plate. And the count holds at a ball and 2 strikes on the DH. Cameron Amos came in batting .304. Tigers collectively hitting .248, averaging right at 5 runs a game. No score, bottom of the 4th. As Amos digs back in there, measures Griffin. Turns, throws, it is low, and a nice stab by Boren. Is able to keep it in front of him.
Watkins must have a bullseye somewhere on his uniform.
Mark Nan.
Yeah.
Well, he does wear number 13. Pretty good lead at second. Here's the pitch. Swung on and grounded up the middle. It is fielded by Salas. He will throw, and was his foot off the bag? No. Over to third goes Watkins. And there is out number 2.
And no, they said he's safe. Took his foot
Oh, it
off.
did, okay.
Because I was wondering why Canan was asking for time if they had gotten the out. Shortstop had to really throw it to the right of Garcia. No.
It comes off
there. You just don't know when it was in the glove.
Right.
It disappeared from us, but you couldn't tell whether or not it was in the back of the mitt or not. They're going to talk it over amongst the umpires to see if the home plate umpire overrules the base umpire. And they're going to say no. So
it'll be an error on Salas.
Watch it from center field, John.
Well, he's closing fast. There's the play, and he immediately knows.
Apparently Garcia thought he had the out because he didn't go back to try to touch the base.
Right.
He was looking at the runner at third.
So runners at the corners for Ryan Bartlett, the pitcher.
And once again, John, here's the bottom of the order. The 8th and 9th hitter called upon to try to make something happen for these Tigers.
1 out. Bartlett walked his first time up. Griffin set, he throws, and a swing and a miss on the first pitch. Again, the runner at third, the lead runner, Grant Watkins. Cameron Amos is aboard at first.
With a scoreless game, but still somewhat early, do you go for the double play if given the opportunity, or you try to go home?
Well, the runner breaking down the line. It's a squeeze, and it is 1-0. Nice bunt laid down by Bartlett. It advances Grant Watkins on the squeeze.
There's your answer. Perfectly laid down the first base side by Bartlett, and Garcia had no other opportunity but to get the sure out. As the runner was breaking from third, Watkins scores easily, and Garcia just puts the tag on the pitcher. And Watkins says, I can remove the bullseye jersey and get back out and play defense here in a moment.
1-0 Irving. Jesse Ramos, the catcher, up. 2 outs on the play. Cameron Amos advanced to second. There's a look as he takes his lead from our center field camera. The 0-1 pitch. Waved at and missed, a one-headed swing and a ball way outside. And the count now at 0-2. So the Tigers score first here in the home half of the fourth. Again, our shot from center field. There's the setup by the catcher. There's the pitch way outside. And the count at 1-2. A hit, batter, an error, and a sacrifice bunt here in the fourth inning. Virtually no wind at all right now. Righty-righty matchup. Alan Griffin ready. Here's a pitch. Swung on and an infield pop. Who wants it? The shortstop, Edgar Salas, able to stay with it. And there was out number 3. But the Irving Tigers come through a run on no hits, 1 error, and 1 left. And after 4 complete, our new score, Irving 1, the Cardinals of Mac nothing. We step aside on our ICTN District Game of the Week. It's a 1-0 lead for the Irving Tigers as we head to the top half of inning number 5. And here's Rob Willman.
All right, John, thank you very much. Let's see what the Cardinals can do to answer the call here in the 5th inning of play. They've had about 4 singles tonight. Made it as far as second base on 1 occasion. That hits square in the back of Landon Blass. And they get on board very quickly. Somewhat reminiscent of the top of the 5th when a batter gets hit. This one a little bit more square on the backside.
Each pitcher has plunked a batter tonight.
So the shortstop now up. Let's see if they try to sacrifice him around. He's the number 8 hitter, squares around. Fakes the bunt, takes a called strike. Somewhat what we were looking at in the inning before, where you're hoping that the number 8 and 9 batter can come through for you. Fake the bunt, hit well to left field. Banda giving chase, has it for the out, and a long run back for Blass, who was hoping that would fall in. And there's one down. Marcus Hudson, who drew a walk. Back in the 3rd is the number 9 hitter before they go to the top of the order, and Alan Griffin.
Salas kind of crossed him up. He showed a little bit of a bunt stance and took a full swing at it.
There's a long throw by the 3rd baseman. Did they get him? Yes. Benitez with a nice throw from 3rd base. Sacrifices the runner over, and you might say, well, why sacrifice with 2 outs? There's the play again by Benitez. Look at the throw. I thought
this is close.
Yeah, got him by just a whisker. But now you got a guy up in Griffin who is a clutch hitter, who can pick up a runner on base with 2 outs, and I think that was the mindset of the head coach.
I think you're right. Allen's 2 for 2.
High fly to right center. Who wants it? Watkins calling everyone off and makes the put out. So a big out for the Irving Tigers in the top of the 5th as they get Griffin to pop out. with a runner in scoring position. As we played 4.5 and we head to the bottom of the 5th. And an Irving 1-run lead in this ball game.
Cardinals have also stranded 4 base runners tonight. In between innings, Rob, we kind of got some clarification. One of the students here in the press box told us the reason why the Tigers or the Cardinals are kind of chirping at Watkins. Watkins transferred from Mac, so they know each other real well here.
They said we haven't forgotten.
No.
And we haven't forgotten either coming into this ball game how the district race had situated itself with Vikings a 5-3 record, the Cardinals, Tigers, Gophers all at 4-4. And so you look at that district race as we play this game tonight, how important it is for Irving to stay in the thick of things. One of the 3 Irving schools, 2 could make it, could come down to just 1 making it. It's just too early, although after this week, there'll only be 2 more weeks of baseball left to play.
Well, that number 3 spot, Rob, you have all kind of scenarios with these 2-game series. You could have a team with a 6-4 district record. Both teams could be 5-4.
First pitch to Jason Hernandez. The second baseman singled back in the 3rd. Grounded out to the pitcher to start things off. It's a strike on the outside corner. I smell hot dogs. Something.
Well, that's what it is.
It smells good. Slap to left again. Hudson is there, kind of tailing away from him, but makes the put out, and there's 1 down. Bring up the 3rd baseman, Benitez, who did a really good job in the top of this inning with the long throw at 3rd. Benitez wearing number 6, RJ, singled and flied out. Swings at the first pitch off the handle. In the crowd, hits the stairs. Look down there at the stands, and there's a couple of indentations right there past the front row where I think maybe a foul ball or 2 has landed in the past and left its mark. Waited on the curveball right up the middle. That'll be a base hit.
And the 5th hit given up by Griffin. And a 1-out single for your number 3 hitter.
Benitez now 2 out of 3. And now the shortstop, Seth Inocencio, steps in. He has been part of a double play twice tonight. A lefty who plays shortstop. With 1 out and a runner at first. Griffin with the off-speed ball. That is foul. Garcia handled it nicely at first, but in foul territory.
Pitch came in on the hands of Seth, almost sawed him off.
The thing about the Tigers, though, tonight, I think, in the box, they've been very aggressive, swinging at a lot of pitches. Griffin ahead on the count, and again, comes in on the handle. It's going to fall almost in front of the center fielder, Kinzer. Thought maybe he had misplayed that one, and there's 2 outs. The thing about Jacob out in center field, he doesn't play particularly deep as a center fielder. There's a lot of real estate behind him as you take a look at the wide shot there at center. At one time, it came back to hurt him. He had to catch up to the ball and couldn't get to it in time. Go back over to first, and this will bring up Banda.
That was the 10th fly ball out tonight.
Banda 1 for 2. Way outside. Nice job by Torres to keep that from going to the backstop. Here at Tiger Yard, you can see the brick behind Banda. Goes from dugout to dugout. behind the pad there. It's a fastball high. They didn't have the pad behind home plate. Boy, it hit that brick and bounced back to second base. As hard as some of these guys throw. Griffin behind on the count now. 2 outs, bottom of 5. Outside corner called strike. Christian looking the entire way. Hit a double last time on ICTN. 1 out of 3.
Hitters count at 2-1.
You telling me he's going to swing at this?
2 out and a man on first, and a pretty good matchup here.
He swung. And Griffin threw a good pitch, not to hit. As that broke right in the dirt. And deuces are wild here. Banda can get on. Damian Inocencio will step in. Pretty good crowd tonight. It's been a very quick game. Not a lot of scoring, obviously.
Nice defensive plays turned in on both sides.
So they really haven't had a lot to cheer about consistently as far as run scores, but we've seen some double plays and pickoffs and some pretty good moves. That's a fastball hit the inside corner for a called strike. Strike 3 looking, only the second strikeout tonight for Griffin. And we have finished 5 innings of baseball. We go to the top of the 6th, and it's still an Irving lead by a score of 1-0. Coming up for these teams, as we talked about how everyone's bunched up, John. Touched upon this a little earlier in the cable cast, but I think perhaps maybe MacArthur has the easier of the two.
Well, you got Nimitz with
or Gophers. I would say the Gophers have the easiest of the two.
Yeah, they got Duncanville
and
last game of the
nothing
year.
against the Tigers. I'm just saying, you know, maybe the way the schedules have looked and the way the teams have been playing up to this point doesn't mean Irving can use this as a springboard and turn things around. But
all those schedule makers.
Remember the days when Duncanville was so strong.
They would lose about 2 district games in 2 years.
Yeah. Both these teams have played district leading South. South has won 4 games, swept both of these teams so far this year, and outscored MacArthur 22-9. Outscored Irving 18-1. A little offense there. Third baseman Marufo steps up. He swings at the first pitch, and it goes out of play.
I'm picking up that aroma that you were talking about.
Yeah, are you hungry now?
It's Oscar Mayer.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
You know the brand, huh? You're that good, huh? A hot dog connoisseur.
Yes.
That's in the dirt. Andres, third baseman, has been busy at third. Fastball right down the pipe. Let's talk about Bartlett a little bit. He has pitched a dandy tonight. Has it been overpowering? In fact, I'm trying to see if he's had 1 strikeout, and he has not. But he's gotten the plays he needed. Line drive to right. Alvarez tries to get him at first, and it's wide.
Well, I've only seen it once, but that
It was
certainly
almost
no fault.
twice, wasn't it?
Yeah, certainly no fault for Pedro Alvarez, able to get to it in time, and I think Damian Inocencio knew what was coming.
Sometimes as a first baseman, you try to be nonchalant about it as to not tip off the runner that they're going to try to make a play. Alvarez just a little wide of the bag, and Rufo is down at first with a leadoff single.
You know, the hits have been scattered. That's a 4th hit tonight for the Cards.
Attempted bunt goes high and wide and out of play. As Junior Torres, the catcher, 0 for 2. With no outs and just a 1-run game. MacArthur, you know, playing for just that one run to try to even things up. Bartlett throws over to first. No, back in time. Ball got away anyway.
Well, in a tight game, better make sure that throw is a good one at first base.
Canan at third. Calling the signals. Bunt, nice one at that. First baseman Inocencio has no one to go to. Can he make the tag in time? Yes. You saw a little wide eyes in Inocencio.
Yeah, Bartlett was kind of in no man's land. I mean, had he continued to go, he may have interfered with both the runner and his first baseman right here, and now you got to make the adjustment and an all-out race for the bag and the tag by Inocencio.
Got him by a step, but I wouldn't say fear in his eyes, just some urgency like, uh-oh, I've got to make the play because my pitcher's not going to get over here. But end result for MacArthur's the fact they have a runner at second and Horn up. And the last time Levi came up, he grounded out to the pitcher and really made it close at first. It's a ball low. MacArthur looking for a clutch hit to tie this thing up. Horn is their cleanup hitter. Ricky Bourne, number 5 in the order, who singled his last time up, will be up next. Fastball fouled off to the right.
Good pitch and good swing by Horn.
Bartlett, he loves to go with the fastball. We've seen a lot of heat come from Bartlett, whereas Griffin, he'll use that curveball and the off-speed pitch. You see the Irving batters kind of slapping going with it, whereas the MacArthur batters, they've got to come around in a hurry. So Marafufo down at second, foul back. And Marufo goes back to second. Run out of baseballs, and umpire needs to restock.
Who made the last trip to Academy or running out of baseballs here?
Shortstop Inocencio shading towards center. Now he's back to normal. Here's a well-hit ball to center field, and the center fielder one hands at Watkins. Got a good jump on the ball, and the liner was corralled by Watkins in center for the second out. Boy, at first I thought that was going to go over his head.
Well, that ball really smoked one of the hardest hit balls tonight off the bat of Levi Horn, and Watkins over the cap with the catch.
Tracked it down in a hurry. Closed on it. 2 outs now. And Boren up.
Must have double checked the signs with Jesse Ramos.
Again, Bourne is just playing in his 8th game. Comes in with only 1 RBI. .333 as a hitter coming in. Already has 1 base hit tonight. Cardinal fans hoping he has 1 more. Fastball low and away.
Well, this is the part of the order that you wanted up this innings, number 2, 3, and 4. And now Ricky Bohr, the number 5 hitter.
Second baseman Hernandez playing a little deep at second. High and tight, and Bourne has to do some acrobatic moves just to get away from that fastball. Ramos wants time, gonna go talk to his pitcher.
Again, the Cards coming off an 8-2 win over the Gophers of Grand Prairie. That one underneath the hands, and it turned Boren almost all the way around.
Twist an ankle on that move. Goes in the books as nothing but a ball. So Boren, he's ahead on the count as a hitter. Swings at the fastball. And once again, John, these Cardinals very aggressive at the plate. They don't seem to really wait on, make the pitcher throw a lot of pitches. If they see something they like, they go for it. back, and just like that, Bartlett has evened the count at 2 apiece.
Staying alive and making Bartlett continue to throw pitches. Ricky Boren came in batting .333. Lead runner at second is Marufo.
Swung on and missed. Picks up the strikeout. Comes at a great time as it ends the inning and keeps MacArthur off the board. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Still an Irving 1-0 lead.
Crossed him up an off-speed pitch and Boren out in front of it. And the second strikeout tonight for senior Ryan Bartlett, trying to go to 2-0 on the year.
John, let's do a flashback, shall we?
All righty, I'm ready.
All right. This is the 10th anniversary of former Tiger Blake Bevins' perfect game against MacArthur. He was drafted 17th by the Rangers in 2007. Untouchable on this night as Mac went 21 up, 21 down. They managed to get just one ball out of the infield as Blake just took charge. He fanned 17 cards through the first and only perfect game of his high school career. Got the final out on a strikeout, and Irving goes on for the 6-0 shutout, and Blake, who would go on to pitch for the Mariners, tosses one for the record books 10 years ago, believe it or not. He's currently pitching for Puebla in the League of Mexican Baseball, and the former Tigers made 2 starts, no decisions. Talk about a small world. His pitching coach is former Nimitz Viking and Chicago Cub pitcher Les Lancaster.
And you were here that night.
I was in center field that night. It seemed chilly up there that night. You know, it's nice and comfortable here in the box.
Yeah, a little better.
Griffin's pitched a good game, too. Inocencio, a grounder, shortstop. Salis, long throw, can't get him. That's a base hit.
Deepest throw that you can make in an infield single for Damian Inocencio. That had base hit written all over it. Salas getting up, but it's going to be late anyway.
Just kind of a in-the-hole, lazy ground ball, and made a good effort.
Yeah, not able to plant the foot, but able to get it there and make it relatively close. And a pinch runner for the Irving Tigers going to be Alex Ibarra.
So the leadoff man aboard. So with Ibarra at first, a little more speed on the bases. And catcher Torres telling the coach, let's give me those signals again. An attempted bunt, third baseman in, makes the play to throw to first. No one's covering. A little mix up there between Garcia and Boren at second. But Watkins pops out to Marufo, who came in looking for the bunt, and they just left that one up in the sky too long.
Yeah, got underneath it, and Marufo down the line. It'll go as a foul out to the third baseman, out number 1, as Ibarra has to backtrack to first.
First pitch swinging as Amos gets a base hit. Second baseman Boren was covering second on the play. Ibarra goes down on second base on the hit. Amos gets the base hit, so there's now 2 on. Bartlett, remember, had a nice sacrifice back in the 4th inning that eventually put Watkins in scoring position. Well, brought him home, actually, on the sack and the RBI. That's been the difference tonight.
7th hit tonight for the Tigers.
So Bartlett in a position to not only be the game-winning pitcher, but get the game-winning RBI as well. In an inning in which the Tigers just manufactured a run. Here's the 1-0 pitch, swung on, fouled back by Bartlett.
Tigers have a hit in every inning tonight except the 4th. They still lead 1-0.
Griffin slowing down a little bit on his pace between pitches. Curveball, nicely done. And it's 1-2. Early innings, John and I were talking about the pace in which Griffin would throw. Rather quick, but that has since subsided. Takes his time a little bit more. Another breaking ball. Swung and missed. Third strikeout on the night. For Allen, and the catcher, Ramos, will have to disrobe, if you will, and get all the catcher paraphernalia off. The number 9 hitter with an opportunity here, John, to really put some insurance runs on the board for Irving going into the last inning. Fastball outside.
Looking ahead to the Cardinals' 7th, it'll be numbers 6, 7, and 8.
None of which have got a base hit tonight. Curveball, fans. You look at stats and you wonder.
Oh, I'll look at a lot of stats.
Thing is, stats can be misleading. Like, for instance, we remember Sunset last year, couldn't win a game. They have 3 batters in the top 11 in the Metroplex in batting average. I thought, my goodness, 5A is treating them well. Here's one right up the middle. Will they send the runner? Ibarra was going to stop at third, and the bases are now loaded as Ramos comes up with a single. Ibarra goes to third, Amos goes to second, and that'll bring up Jason Hernandez.
Third hit of the inning, and the bases are loaded for the top of the order. Big turn by Ibarra, but made the right choice. Good throw in. A 2-hopper to Junior Torres, and now another courtesy runner for the Irving Tigers. It'll be, who will bet that? Pedro Alvarez.
Alvarez, yes. He comes in for the DH because he's being replaced by the DH in defensive mood, so you can just go ahead and put him out there. Finish that story. I thought Sunset made a big turn. Well, they're still in last place, and they've only won like 3 games all year, so again, stats can be deceiving. All right, Jason Hernandez singled back in the third as part of a double play that ended that inning. And now here he is with the bases juiced, looking for anything to keep A, the inning alive, and B, bringing home a run, offering some insurance for the Tigers. Hit to second. Boren to his left. Inning over. So 6 innings are in the books. We go to the 7th. The Tigers on top 1-0. Can they hold on? We'll find out after this. Oh, somebody likes their M&Ms, doesn't she? Oh, I thought they didn't melt in your mouth or on your mouth. Hey, look at that. She is sharing. Well, in the last 12 years, no one has won 1-0, but that could change for the Irving Tigers if they can get 3 outs without surrendering a run here in the 7th. Felipe Garcia will lead things off. Blas and Salas, the next 2 batters against Bartlett in the 7th. Starts off with a called strike. Be a big win for the Tigers, who came in at 4-4 in district. They'll have to travel to MacArthur later this week on a Friday. Bartlett's next pitch is a fastball in the dirt. This is where, as a player, particularly a pitcher, you have to keep calm and throw the same type of game you've thrown for 6 innings. That's a called strike on the outside corner, and it's 1-2.
Softball next week on ICTN. We got the Lady Cards and the Lady Vikings. Game originating from Nimitz High.
In fact, we'll be on the Nimitz campus the last 2 weeks on ICTN. That's high, and Garcia would have none of it.
Matching up even as we speak across the way. Softball diamond.
Hit high, could be in the gap. Right fielder over, and Alvarez makes the put out for one down.
Pedro got a good jump. Watkins was there to back him up just in case. Garcia tonight 0 for 3. That is the 22nd fly ball out tonight.
And that ball was first hit. As you take a look at the softball game going on against MacArthur and Irving High. That ball was first hit, John. I thought it was carrying a lot deeper than it actually went. And although it appears the infielder or the outfielders are playing a little shadow, they have been right on the money tonight. Ball outside. The Landon Blast, the DH, hit by a pitch back in the 5th, struck out in the 3rd. MacArthur needing some production from the bottom part of the order. Fouled off the barrel of the bat.
You know, Bass is not an uncommon last name, but Blass. Remember Steve Blass, Pittsburgh Pirates, back in the 70s?
One of few.
It's the only other last name Blass that comes to mind.
I fly out of play on top of the dugout at first. Infield straight away. The wind really hasn't picked up or laid down much. Pretty much constant from the first pitch. Swung on and missed there. Another strikeout registered by Bartlett, and he is 1 out away from giving these Tigers a 1-0 win.
Strikeout number 3 got him swinging on a 2-2 count. Oh, the bottom fell out of that one. Good pitch.
Absolutely. I mean, even if he made contact, he would really have to stretch to get there and would probably have fouled that off anyway. Salas now up, looks at a called strike, and it's 0-1. Edgar flying out twice tonight. Ryan just a couple of outs away, or strikes away from winning this one. Right field line, this could be trouble for the right fielder, but it's foul.
About 6 feet off the line.
Alvarez had a lot of ground to make up, and that left the bat of Salas, and so all that is, as you hear in baseball terms, is nothing but a long strike.
A loud foul.
Bartlett 1 strike away from ringing up a win. Ball's fouled back. Salas staying alive.
Swung a little late. See if he comes in and tight on Salas here.
Fouled back again. He'll be making another run to the sporting goods store at this rate for more baseballs. Edgar down on the count, 0-2. Will have nerves of steel if he lays off anything close to the strike zone. And Bartlett thought he could get him to go after one there, but that was way outside. We've seen one good hit go over the head of the center fielder tonight. Otherwise, everything being played in front of the defensive unit. The ball is high. Again, Bartlett was ahead on the count then, 1-2. Trying to get Salas to go fishing, wouldn't go for it. Swung on and missed. And the Tigers all fired up, earning themselves a 1-0 win over the Cardinals tonight. And it's Bartlett is the man of the hour. with a nice night on the mound. And his reaction after the strikeout.
Shuts out the Crosstown rival here tonight.
Indeed he does, and he also gets the sacrifice bunt that knocked in the winning run to boot. So a complete performance by the Irving Tigers, who now go to 5-4 now in district. The Cardinals likewise 5-4. These two teams will play one more time. And again, we still have 2 more weeks of baseball to play after this week's game. So still plenty of baseball left to be played, but a good night for the Irving Tigers and a big win over the Crosstown rivals. Well, that's going to do it for the ICTN Game of the Week. For John Nelson, I'm Rob Willman and our entire ICTN crew. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.